When you're performing these exercises at home or at the crag, you will perform them cyclically. So you'll start with one exercise, do the second and third, and then start over back at the beginning, performing them for 2 to 3 cycles. So the first exercise is called wall slides. The purpose of the wall slide is to promote really good shoulder blade mechanics, because as you raise your arms, your shoulder blade should also elevate to allow enough space for your arm to get all the way up. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to come up to the wall. Your feet are going to be hip width apart. Your feet are going to be about 1 foot away from the wall. You're going to bring your arms up and just gently rest your hands on the wall. And what you're going to do now is you're going to slide your hands up. But as you slide, you're going to act like you're pushing your elbows straight into the wall, keeping a good pressure through your hands, all the way up and then all the way down. In addition, as you get to the top, you're going to lift your shoulders up a little bit and then come back down again. Also make sure that as you raise your arms up, that your head does not tilt forward or tilt back with your hands. Try to keep your eyes directly pointed straight towards the wall. Now for all of my exercises, I'll typically do between 8 and 12 repetitions, and again in a cyclical form. The next exercise is called the reverse T. You're also going to be on the wall. So what you're going to do, again, you're going to have your feet hip width apart, about 1 foot away from the wall. You're going to place your back against the wall like so. Bend your hips and knees a little bit, sink into it. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw your belly button toward your spine and flatten your low back against the wall. And this is really important because you're stabilizing that low spine, because when you elevate your arms, you don't want that extra movement in your low back, and that can lead to low back pain. So we're in this position, our backs are flat against the wall. You're going to bring your arms up like this. Just the tips of your fingers just gently grazing the wall. Again, you're going to do a chin tuck and have your neck in a good position. And then you're going to slide your hands up like so, as far as you can go without your low back coming up from the wall and then coming back down. Now, if you're trying to go up and you get to a point and your low back comes out from the wall, don't go past that point. So stop before you get to that point where you feel like your low back's coming off, and then come back down. This exercise is called diagonals. What you'll need is just a TheraBand. The TheraBand doesn't have to be a high resistance. It can be whatever you're comfortable with. There are 2 variations, one where you'll anchor one side of the TheraBand down low, and then one where you'll anchor the TheraBand up high. The first one, we'll start with the down low. You're going to place the TheraBand underneath your foot, and you're going to have a fairly wide stance. Wrap the TheraBand around your palm, and you're going to start with your hand at the opposite hip, palm down. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to start with activation at your shoulder. So you're going to gently bring your shoulder up and back a little bit to have that initial core stabilization at the shoulder. You're going to rotate up and out to the side, and then nice and slow back down. And again, shoulder up and back, rotate up, end with the palm facing up towards the ceiling. Almost like you're drawing a sword out of the sheath. Okay. You can make this even more like a climbing movement by following your hand. Typically when you're climbing, you'll be looking at whatever you're reaching for. And halfway there. And 2 more. And done. The second variation of this exercise, again, you're going to anchor the other side of your TheraBand somewhere high, typically in a doorway. You can just put it on top of the door and close the door. You'll have it in your opposite hand, so the side that's away from the door. You'll probably want to wrap the TheraBand around your hand again. And now you're going to start in this kissing muscle position, like you're kissing your bicep because you're so strong. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull this TheraBand down across your body and back behind you. You're going to end with your palm facing up and then slowly bring it back in. Again, like with the first one, you're going to start with activation of the shoulder. Bring it down, straightening the elbow, palm up. And again, typically I'll shoot to do 8 to 12 reps of these, depending on how I'm feeling that day. And of course, you'll obviously do them on both sides as well. Okay. 4 left. Okay. Last one. There we go. Those are the diagonals. The lats are one of the most used muscles in the body for climbing. So obviously they're going to get short, they're going to get tight, and if you've ever seen that climber's hunch, it's because of those lats. So let's stretch them. The first and best way that I prefer to stretch my lats is in a quadruped position. So you're going to be on all fours. Typically you'll be on a yoga mat. You'll be on you'll be on knees and elbows. You're going to come down onto your forearms like so. You're going to have your palms facing up, and you're going to try your best to keep your elbows together the entire time. Again, make sure to keep your bat flat as you rock backwards and go as far as you can. You'll really feel a tightness underneath those shoulder blades. And typically, when you do a stretch, you're going to hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. And I didn't hold it for 30 to 60 seconds, but I'm just showing you the movement. Now, if you're able to rock back all the way and not feel a stretch, you can either put weights on the outsides of your elbows. You'll probably need a much heavier weight to prevent your elbows from coming apart. And you can also put a weight between your wrists to make a V formation with your forearms. And that will make it much more intense of a stretch. Now, stretching-wise, research shows that a dosing of about 180 seconds of stretching up to 3 times a week has been shown to have improvement in the tightness of that muscle. So you don't need to stretch every single day, just 3 times a week. and that's the lat stretch.